This is a direct message to those who call themselves educated, thinkers, leaders, and anyone who's ever taken a paycheck and believed they understood the system. If you can read between the lines, you already know this message is not just words. It's a signal, part of something bigger. This is a real challenge, a test of intelligence, integrity, and depth. Because while the surface world, the so-called 3D world, has its place without characters and morals, it all collapses. The world is on a stage right now, a kind of World Series of consciousness. And the irony is that most don't even know they're in the game. So here's the real question. Can you evolve past labels, past ego, and past systems, and still live with principles when no one's watching? How you interpret this message says everything about you, not me. I'm just a messenger. And as for who I work for, well, I guess that's for you to figure out. Journaling and writing is a way for humans to get things out. And over the years, scripture and different things is how we communicated. And before that was writings on the walls and the symbols and the stuff. And that's where it comes from. And that's how we do it. And then in today's world, there's so many different ways to create, right? And now anything is possible. And it became easier for people to do different depending on where you're at in life. And you know, we've been so blessed to have such great inventors make things that have sped our time up and our, you know, but then we became impatient, right? It's like the internet freaking out. Back in the 80s, 90s, you don't get that. Like the world was so different. Our brains work different. We had to adapt different. And people that are not familiar right now with internet or social media or different things or whatever they're, you know, like I'm not in SpaceX. I'm not, right? In my head I was, like I saw myself in my dreams, put myself in, you know, Elon was putting my stuff in the, whatever, in the little cubbies or whatever in my dreams. But other than that, I don't know anything about technology. I break it. When I was a kid, I would journal a lot. And when my dad or whatever had read it, normally he didn't invade my space that way. My grandma, my mom did on that side, which is I don't agree with that. You could see it's crossing kids' boundaries, and they need that healing in that respect. And my daughter doesn't have it in that household. It's dangerous. It's unhealthy. It's what pushes people away to do bad things. But it's you know, sometimes there's always exceptions to every rule. Don't get me wrong. Like there's times where we have to check, like, because it's like, okay, if I didn't see this, you could but you know the difference between crossing boundaries. But I used to share everything in journals and writings and different things, and I burned them because I was so ashamed of everything that was written in them. And I remember being I remember one of them was Pamela Anderson. I had cut out, and she was one of like each different page, and then I would write like the things and the feelings based on that. I was a young girl and those feelings, and the next was like a devil and whatever, and then I would write another one, and then different kind of creatures and different things, and then I would write more about like my feelings, and then like real life stories about stuff like whatever that was happening at school, or you know, different stuff. And I remember being so ashamed because for me, my sexuality and my stuff was taken away from me. I didn't have anyone to talk to. I didn't have you're abused and there's nobody there. And you have to work that out, and you only think you're a freak because you're a little child who's been so hurt, right? So you don't know, and that's the self-exploration is, you know, the writing and the creativity is all, like, if you have that as a great outlet, but when that's taken away from you too, and it's like you can't go anywhere or do it, it's very difficult. And so many people and so many kids in the world don't have that. So when I look at my situation, I go, fuck, I'm still so blessed that I was able to somehow get enough education, my choice of education, to be able to do that. And that's the thing about being in first world countries versus third world countries. So I do feel the world's pain. I've never lied about that. I did when I was a kid. I remember I wanted to go to Haiti in high school. My dad wouldn't let me. He's like, no, because if I got disease, this, that, and the other thing. And I'm like, I remember just being so upset. I just wanted to help, do something. And, you know, we have different reasons and different journeys, and you can help in different ways. But it's like, it doesn't mean that we have to give there is an abundance where it's like, and when you work hard, you can earn what you have, and genuinely, and you just have to give that much back to the world. So if you're been so blessed, like I said, if you want to have a jet and you want to have, you know, a boat and a yacht and a beautiful whole mansions and all of that, you're allowed to have that. Nobody's saying that you're not allowed to have that. That's actually would be very false. It's understanding what are you giving back, though, to the world and to the planet and to the environment to do that. Because if you're just, and how are you making that money to buy those things? And who have you had to step on to get them? Because you can make money and contribute to the economy and contribute to people and teamwork and have all those things, and it be in every, like, that's a great interest for the world and the planet. Or you can be just take, and the people that are taking, it's not working, because then it got to this big thing and everybody's just taking, and then, you know, who's paying the price? You can now see our brains are connected, so like you can literally see that. I had bought this one end of last year, but I haven't written, November. I didn't read much in this one. I'm quite ready to read that, I guess. I still get embarrassed. You can see my notes don't make sense. I'm all over the place. Like before, that's why it's so hard, because that's ADD. It's all over. So this is the account I'm trying to get back that I don't have, and I don't have this phone number anymore. And I used to live here, but it's like I'm here now. I have money in my bank account, but I'm waiting to invest it in myself, because that's not, I can't get the place I need. I can't, like, I have to. So for finance and managing and wealth management and dreams and all that, the money's, I have money in my account, but that's not what I need. I need that to not be a stress factor for me. I need to be free from any type of worry about money so I can build what I need. And then you have to go, okay, well, what do I need? So I look around, and because I didn't know before, I'm all over the place. So I lived, we had a, like, you know, whatever, like upper middle class. So, you know, $1 million home, you know, beautiful things, blah, 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 whatever. But not like being able to be free and live a life. So that's not good, but it's, I realized, okay, so, you know, you have the dogs and they feel guilty because, like, everything has to do with time, and these little guys need walks, and I'm not well enough, and sometimes it's a beautiful day, and sometimes I'm like, oh, I'm just, like, or you get into a rhythm of work. Well, these, like, so it's like, okay, I need a dog walker, so add that to an expense. Okay, well, the next place I want a studio type of place, because I want to do filming. That's what I like. I like being behind the camera. I like inspiring other people. I like teaching other people. That is what I enjoy, and I want to empower women, so, and then feel comfortable in front of a camera and not be creeped out or anything like that. Not everybody is, and that's the thing. Just because somebody's a man doesn't mean he's creepy out. I can't, like, I want to, that's, I've connected with people I want to work with, and I lead me to doing all of these things. So obviously I'm like, I have to get that type of confidence to go that direction. And of course, you know, there's the, like, yes, that's the point, right? Like I said, when I say I'm all in to experience life, but I have to go through these things naturally. So it's like, I look around, and then I'm like, okay, so what do I want? Like, I need like about $10,000 to $20,000 a month to get this, like, afloat of where I want it to be. And that, realistically, with these funnels, and if you understand how they work, that is more, like, people are making that all the time. That's about what I need. You don't really need more than that per se, but if you want to do something with the world, well, then that's when I go, well, I want more, because then that's when I have, my visions have always been so big for Elegantly Outrageous. And it seemed crazy to people, but before I knew, like, my goal was, I want to have like a princess type of castle place with a massive property, and that's what, and you know, different stations, and that's where I guess Disney and all them were with me before. I realized I want to go, like, people go to the mirror, and, you know, that Avatar cartoon character comes up of who is really kind of in their soul and who's there, and, you know, they go to different dressing rooms and closets. It's kind of like a Disneyland for adults in different ways, and healing and teens and everything else. But it's like, some people you contribute to it and be there. People can win it. People can pay to be there. People, like, you know, I have such clear visions of those things that I want, and it's like a resort, and it's a self-help, and some people that need it can get it You can earn your way in, you can get prizes, and the people that can't afford to come too, that's where the online components come, and then we give back by that's where you give away contests so people could win, and that's the platforms that people built for travel and for different things, but they forgot along the way because they made so much money, they stopped servicing their customers, like fucking banks and corporations and fucking all of these things of shit like became monopolies and stopped actually caring about the customer. That's shitty. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna go to somebody who has good customer service. That's where, like, if I say, look, okay, like when I start, like in this other world of, you know, to find people, whatever, before I had any indication of this gym thing coming to me, it was like, okay, well, I want to build a bigger self-help world program than Amazon because it's the biggest, it's the best, it has the most influencers. Jeff's the richest person in the world, so that would make sense. And he knows customer service, and they actually had a good business model. So I'm like, okay, that makes sense. So, you know, like I didn't try to do, like, that's not what it was, like, but that's the spirits and all the tech and everything led that to me, which led to such a strong connection in his head. Because obviously you keep saying that, and then the connection comes that way. And then I saw, like, you know, what a strong man he really is to back that and go, yeah, you know what, like, she's fucking nuts and I'm gonna back her being nuts because that's how you invest in people. And then, like, I'm gonna, and I know he bet on me to win on that level because I saw it, because he sacrificed a lot on that, because I'm sure you've all taken a lot. That's the thing. If I've been saying your name and I've been tagging you and I've been doing all these things, that's just natural. The media and stuff like that's going to come down on you guys and investigate you and all of that, because they would think that like we were doing some shady shit, because most people don't believe in God, right? So they're not going to believe in that. They're going to think it's totally nuts, because you know what? I think it's totally nuts. I still think it's totally nuts. I'm on this side thinking it's totally nuts. I haven't got over the fact that this is not totally nuts. But you people on, like, I could understand on the Hollywood side, that's what I'm saying, they actually they would have more belief in this, because I could see it in the movies. I'm like, well, if they make it in the movies, I'm sure. And then you can go, okay, well, look at the space shit that they have. Like, look at NASA, look at SpaceX, look at, Jeff does space stuff too. I don't know what the company, but whatever that space shit is. And then I'm like, okay, well, they have technologies to do this. And then, okay, well, Bill Gates fucking can manipulate data. Okay. All right, well, Brock ran a fucking government in a country. Okay, Putin has like the leadership and, you know, and all this power. The Pope actually has, like, would believe in spirits, of course. Like, it's like, that makes sense. So these people are already up there. So, like, when you pick a target market and an audience, you go up right, and I had to go right to the top. You think I'm not scared of you guys? I'm very scared. I've been scared this whole time. That's why I'm not able to, like, that's why you don't know. I haven't met any of you. Because I'm scared. I'm scared of everything. But I just do it anyway. I just do it anyway. I'm fucking freaked out. But I do it anyway. Because I know I'd be investigated. But I didn't have anything to hide because I haven't done anything. And I just make random little notes. And I use the same fucking passwords for everything because I lose everything. And then they make me make a new password. And then I forget that. And that's why I can't get into emails because I don't have a good memory. And then I started, it was like and then I don't know, last year or whatever. It was like, that was naturally, okay, I need to learn, okay, about the gods and where this is. And I remember saying, before I had any indication, and I had said we were in Europe, and I didn't feel very good. I remember talking to the person we were going to Europe with, and he was like, it was like, I could tell he didn't have any faith because I was a woman, like, or like, oh, I'm just a fitness model, I'm just a woman. I'm like, anything I had to say seriously, like, thought, oh, Mr. Academic, I'm so smart in business, and because he ran all these businesses and stuff, and he looked down on everything. Like, there was just no, like, nothing I had to say interest him, and I was like, wow, that's really insulting. Like, we're actually on vacation together, and it's supposed to be couples, and I have nothing to say to you because you're so fucking arrogant. You might be a nice person, but you're arrogant. And that's like, that is the thing with these type of people. It's like, they think they're nice people. They think they're great people. And it's like, no, you're shitty. You're really shitty. You're making me feel shitty because deep down in your mind, you're so fucking insecure about yourself that you can't actually, like, open up to the idea that women can have a brain. Like, or a model can't have a brain, or which I don't identify with, but there's nothing wrong with that if I did, because it's like, why can't you be smart? Why can't you be both? Not all guys with big muscles and jacked up are meatheads and stupid, right? Why do you think one of the first people I went to that I felt confident was with the Rock? That was when I first knew I could do the shape-shifting shit. I was walking down the street, and then I said that on social media, and then you guys called the hospital on me again. But it's like, because I shape-shifted. I literally became the Rock, because look at, that's why he got so big and so much and all this stuff too, because he's taking in all of this energy. So he has to be brilliant. So, and then I go, okay, so where, and when I put these together, it's like, where are we at that time? But it shifted around and moved all the time too, right? So it's like, and then I'm like, okay, making your storyboards. And then they teach, how do you do a masterclass or storyboards or whatever? But for me, my brain was too all over the place. I couldn't follow anybody else's stuff. So I'm like, well, if I did that, but then the spirits helped me make sense of it to realize, holy shit, all my messiness is a real, like, it's a something. Like, it's not a lie, it's a something, right? And then that doesn't mean if your name's not, like, because I found throughout this, there was other people that came and helped and different things that had to be more, more ninja-like. Like, I remember I would watch, when I was working with the Health Sciences Academy, like, every day I would watch Dan Locke, every day. So I would watch that bit of, it was Dan that I was watching, like, a lot, and I'm like, fuck, I really like this guy and what he has to say and the messages that got me back into that elevated state. And that's what helped me with Health Sciences Academy and their rebranding and everything. And then, so I didn't write his names or anything down too, because he's been here and helping and in a different way. And that's how we, like, I understand on the side of martial arts and ninja and brains and all of that, because and I say the same thing too, it's like the women didn't show up as much. Like, in the beginning of this, to be honest, it was like, it was mostly men. I knew the women were there. It's like, I knew their energy, I could feel them. But the way I needed them to come out and heal me wasn't what I expected at all, in different ways. And then the relationships had to change and shift and see where other things could go, because I'm sure that's by logic and how this worked out. You would have created media stories to paint me in a fight against these people, and then they realize, holy shit, she's actually on our side. Like Angelina and I'm sure they pinned us, like, with whatever to make us fight in different ways, and then they made me fight with Brad. I'm sure they did. And then we go, holy shit, you guys, we're all on the same side, because she's actually trying to heal all the sides. And then, ooh, okay, because our energies had to match. Like, I was fucking crazy demon beast there, right? And I'm sure Angela, who plays better evil than her, right? So she understands that. That's why when I was doing my other stuff the other day, she comes in and plays that role, because she can do it so well, right? And then and that's where I go to different people at different times, and I have different, and that's what it is. But I could do that because, and that's the most fucked up thing, because Jim showed up as a person in my kitchen with legs, and I could see him so clearly, and he looked like Bruce Almighty that time. So around the same age, I'd guess that I am now, like close enough, probably. I'm not sure, like, what, 40s-ish, right? So it's that, and then Brad's been my twin, and my other avatar, Bruce Almighty, Jennifer Aniston, okay? And then she was with me so long ago, right? Like, as my, like so many things that we've worked through, and then when I'm hurting, like, she comes and helps me. Like, that's where it's like that, okay, so that's obviously, so Jen had to have been a sister to Jim, like, that had to switch, right? Those, like, what a mind fuck. And then it's like, okay, and then Brad was married to Angelina, and she's the one who came to me and helped me through all of this, which had to lead to Jim's ex in the situation, right? That's how, because the actual Lilith and all that shit, it's actually fucking real. Like, that's fucking crazy. And then we go, that's fucking crazy, right? So as much as, like, everybody's like, but it's more familiar to probably, like, Hollywood, because you guys, like, you're doing these things all the time, like, in a different way. But then you had to realize, holy shit, we're not actors. Like, we're not actors. We just have better shit, and we call ourselves actors, right? So then you can go, do you want to be, like, what do you want to evolve to? What do you want to do, right? So it's like, say Jim was an actor, but he's an artist, and he's everything, right? And that's what he was saying. And then he's looking like a crazy person. He was looking crazy, right? Like, he was fucking looking like a mental case. Now, like, I know I'm looking like a mental case. Because I was, and I am, right? So and he was, and he is. But, and that's that when he said, like, the church of freeing people from concern, and they don't understand that. But it's like, if we put ourselves out there to do everything, because we've all been so gifted, even with just being in this country, and we show the rest of the world this fucking gong show of crazy people who had all these issues but worked it out somehow. Everybody paid their dues, everybody got their beat downs, and then we all came together in the end of this and actually showed love. Can you imagine how that will heal the world? Like, really big. And like, we haven't even come together. This is just the story and the beliefs that I've seen. And like, imagine, so we had to have done that. Like, we had to have, right? I just haven't seen it. So it's like, I want to spend my life seeing that. I want to see what you've done. And you had to tell me in my mind, because I wouldn't have been prepared for that. Right? So you've obviously taken the content and then you make it. Like, I understand, just based on logic and technology, you could take whatever, like I said, like Darren, you would take this image, you could change the whole background. I could be somewhere else, right? That's how it works. You could change like, that's how they work these little apps and all this stuff, and they can make anything. So why couldn't you make a good story? Of course you can. So I can't wait to see what the hell you made. And that's like, gives me excitement, but it's like, I have to heal in that process. So I have to do my part still with the foundation to create that. And then that also gives you back more strength, because if you invested in me somehow, your faith in me somehow, bet on me somehow, had to fight me somehow, but knew like they're like probably like, oh shit, like you've had to play the role. That's why I said, like, yesterday fucking with the Wi-Fi, I'm mad, just randomly mad at Brad Pitt, just randomly mad at him. Never fucking talked to him, never met him other than in my head. I'm just fucking mad at him, right? So obviously we must be connected somehow, because of what the fuck. Right? And that's even people on a grander scale. Everybody, that's how we're connected to each other. Right? Because like I said, emails down Microsoft, pissed off at Bill Gates. Everybody's pissed off, right? All these things. So it's like, what's going on in our heads? So that's why if don't have our shit together as the influencer, the leader, the whatever, the whole fucking thing falls apart. But I didn't want it. I didn't want this job. I said I didn't want it. I didn't want this job. You gave me this job. That's a calling, right? And then you have your jobs, and that's your calling. That's why everybody got to the top of their own and had to just, and then we have breathing room to see each other, but it's like, oh my God, I'm dying, I'm falling back in, and then you guys would pull me out, right? When it gets really bad, then I could see, like yesterday, that's why I was like really bad, and then, you know, but then, you know, I get the most incredible things where it's like, Candace, you know, and having you guys tell me, you know, you're smart, and because nobody's really ever told me that. And I am really hard on myself, because I've always had such a big vision, and I put pressure, and people that don't get it don't understand. So when I said I wanted to heal the whole world, and they said, like, they don't get it, and I'm like, because that's fine. I'm not judging them. That's where they're at. Or some people will never have those visions, but I can't unsee what I see, and I can't unfeel what I feel. And I've been like that my whole life. So I was like a loner and stuff. So I had a lot of friends and a lot of people around me, but I was a loner. I didn't I was, and that's why I overate or binged or whatever else. I'm not commenting on that. Well, me too still, but I'm still embarrassed. So my life goals: expose all narcissist liars, can't spell, narcissists, fake stupid doctors, ignorant political leaders, cheaters, fake players, the ones who stole from their friends, the ones who hurt my friends, the government corruption, the lying broken system, racist stupid fucks, balance, restore all the powers to all the right people. That's my goals. Build a time machine. Why I didn't do that's not my department. I do know the answers to that. So we must be getting closer. So that gives me faith. The dating game. Is she open to dating? I don't know when I wrote this, if this was after or before. Jim must have wrote this. Why is she ignoring me? Does she love me? Is this a book? When was I really cast in? How long has she been watching me? How can she know that? How did she catch me? Will she forgive me? She knows, I don't know. She's pissed. I don't know. It's... Dear Uncle G, please take care of this real estate thing sooner than later. Well, that happened. Except we changed, like, that's where the, like, thing, but remember the story of then how we changed that. So mental health advocates for sure. Said I was never trying to lie to anybody. I was trying to figure this out. Because sometimes I can't just sit, because if you're not in there, it's like, these are just, I'm just a messenger. That's it. I'm just a messenger trying to find her way back. Trying to learn the business, learn the funnels. I don't have a funnel yet. I'm trying to get there, and then it's too exhausting. All this stuff, I have to get the strength to get back, and then it's. And this is true. Like, I'm calling this out because, guys, like, this is not okay. Like, we have world wars and different things over religions because people are afraid, because of centuries of believing that if you have gay interactions or whatever with this, it really all comes down to 100% of everything. The dictators and all the wars, all the stuff, everything comes back to people's insecurities with their sexuality and their gender and their race. So why not put all humans and give all humans equal rights? And animals. That's why it had to be everything, because this divide of country, divide of whatever, it's just, I put on everybody on this fucking thing of competing with each other, which is fucking ridiculous. Fucking ridiculous. It's sickening, actually. It's a sickening system, but as humans grew over centuries and over time, it's like back to Lord of the Flies here, right? Like how that's where you put people. That's what it's like studies. When you put people on reality shows, it's like a bait. Like, oh, here you go. You're going to be on this reality show. We're going to give you this much money if you win. Well, fuck, I got cast into a reality show. I didn't even get anything. Right? And it's like, oh, you're watching everything. Well, then you realize everybody's watching everything because there's cameras everywhere all the time. It tapped in. It just depends on where you're at with different types of cameras. So if there's security cameras, these type of fucking things, TVs, whatever it is. Again, it's fucking logic. This is based on logic, not based on anything else. Me discovering, well, could they get into, like, how are they doing this? Okay, well, they have to be seeing something. They have to be seeing something. Where are the cameras? I don't know. But it's like, okay, well, these are cameras. And then you go, okay, well, obviously if they have the best technologies, they have shit I don't even know. I don't. I just had to know it was happening, and I had to be okay with it so you wouldn't feel weird to do the story, but you have to bring it back to helping. And that's where the God component and faith come in. And that is like why I'm always cold, and it's like I'm dead. Like my hands are freezing. It's 76 degrees in here and my hands are frozen. But it's not as bad as it was. Like you could see, go look at all the shit. I've been documenting this for a lot, like how bad it was, and I didn't even document the worst parts of it. And that's when people go through, they say, oh, that's detoxing from the drugs. And yeah, there's those things. And then you got to detox through the spirits and the past and the stuff. So again, I don't shame you for doing any of the things that you did. It's just do better now. And we go organically the way you need to. And it's like, today I'm not okay. So I'm not rushing to be okay. I want to get out of here and want to do these things. But obviously I've still had a lot to say, right? I get layer by layer, and then tomorrow will be better, I'm sure, a little bit. But I do know because the next phase is for me, if I get this things, lifted, which supervision and all this, but like I can't force my daughter into anything, but I know my daughter very well, and I fucking, get everything together in a beautiful place and all of that stuff too, and all of a sudden, it's exciting, and because I'm going to give her freedom, so it's going to be healthier for me. She'll come and it'll be healthy when she's there, because she'll be able to grow and create and build, but she's still, we're still in that, there's a lot of work to do, and it gives me my space to heal. We do that, and then I know she's going to realize as this comes out that all this stuff, their secrets, you can't, they're the liars, they're the ones hiding everything, in the narcissist. So if I don't quit, it'll work, but I need the business part back, and then I can at least start back, and then it'll work. It has to work. But only God knows why, because only the people in God could have really understood this, because they go, what is wrong with this fucking girl? She's a whack job all over the place. Well, now we know why people are whack jobs all over the place. Right, Chloe? So I said it as celebrity rehab, but it ended up being everything rehab, and I wasn't a celebrity before. That was a target market audience for me. Welcome to the Elegantly Outrageous Personal Development Institute. Meet our first Elegantly Outrageous avatar, Candace. The foundation of our personal development programs are based on Candace's real life story. When the Elegantly Outrageous Personal Development Institute expanded, it turned into a game, one that was created to help you find the best possible version of yourself. So pay attention to the clues, because everything is there for a reason, and nothing you see ever is a coincidence. Are you truly comfortable, confident, and happy in your own skin? Then why do you feel you should disguise your own inner contentment? The Elegantly Outrageous programs are designed to help you overcome life's paradox. Understanding what it means to love yourself is the key to resolving conflict, especially your own inner conflict, which we are all struggling with in so many areas. The Elegantly Outrageous programs are playfully hidden in plain sight to help you pay attention to your next clue for personal development. How can you become the best possible version of yourself? Play the game.